Yeah. Do you want to hear, like, the time I was supposed to go to Comic-Con and I got horrifically sick when I was 13 years old and almost died? Anybody want to hear that story? I'm okay now. Everything turned out fine. But I did almost die. Sure. Okay. Plot twist, you're actually a ghost. Yeah. So, when I was 13 years old, I wanted more than anything in the world to go to Comic-Con because I didn't know about Anime Expo. I had always heard about Comic-Con and I always wanted to go. And I was finally gonna get to go when I was 13 years old, and I was so excited. And I got really, really sick. I got a kidney infection. I don't know if anybody here has ever had a kidney infection before, but they are awful. I couldn't keep any food down. I was throwing up like constantly, and I wasn't getting any better. So my mom took me to the doctor to get me some anti-nausea because I thought like, oh, I seemed sick, but I didn't seem like too bad. It was just like they didn't know if it was like stomach bug or something. So my mom gets my blood drawn by the doctor, and the doctor calls her back because we went home, and the doctor says like, you need to admit her to the hospital immediately or she will die. So my mom takes me to the hospital and I get admitted. I get admitted to the hospital the day I was supposed to be at Comic-Con. So when all my friends go to Comic-Con without me, and I'm in the hospital because they just thought like I was sick and I just wasn't gonna go. They didn't know I was in the hospital. So I was just like, I just want to go to Comic-Con. I don't want to be here. I got like all kinds of tests done. I had to get an injection in my spine. That was super fun. I got a spinal tap. I had constant blood clots.
Oh no.
I had a super high fever. I think I had a fever of like 104. I think it was about 104. I was just rip-roaring sick. That sounds horrible. Yeah, it sucked. And another thing too, because I would get so hot that I couldn't have blankets. They had to take I had to only have a sheet, so I was freezing cold because the blankets would cause my temperature to go up too high, and it would make it way worse. So I was just like, I'm so cold. I know, no blankets. I was not allowed to have any blankets. So eventually I did get better, and my friends came to visit me, and they brought me stuff from Comic-Con, which was really nice. And then I did eventually get to go later, but yeah, it was like, I almost died. Almost died when I was 13. All I wanted to do was go to Comic-Con.
Oh no.
So I got a lot better. Yeah, I was in the hospital for 5 days. That's the most I've ever been in the hospital. It sucked, and the food was nasty, and I was on an IV, and my veins kept collapsing, and they had to keep, every morning they had to like change my IV, and it was so painful. Because it's basically like, I don't know if anybody's had an IV, but it's basically like, it's an injection in your arm. Like it's like a tube they have to put in your arm to like to make sure you're getting enough fluids. So yeah, I hated that. I hated that so much. Like every morning they had to change it, and I was like, ow. Yeah, I missed the whole thing. But then I got to go back a year later, and that was nice. Oh yeah, you know what the worst thing was? Was not even the hospital food, but the stuff they had to make me drink the night of that I got admitted. It's this thing, it's so nasty. So it's called Contrast. And It's basically like this liquid that allows them to see your insides easier. And it was, oh my god, y'all, it was the nastiest thing I'd ever drank in my entire life. And they're like, no, you have to drink more of this. And I can still, it was so bad, I could still, like, taste it. I can still remember that taste. More like glow-in-the-dark stomach. Because they needed to see inside, my, like, my stomach and, like, my intestines and stuff, so... Because that's what my problem was. They needed to make sure that I had a kidney infection, so... Because it went, the nasty, like, stuff went through my kidneys, and they were able to see the problem. So... But yeah, I'm happy the doctors were able to help me. Oh, and one wonderful thing that happened to me, too, besides my friends coming to visit me, was I got visited by doggies. There were some, hospital dogs that were there. They were like these little Pomeranians, and they played around on my bed and were like giving me kisses, and I got to pet them. So, and I didn't have a dog at the time, so that made me really happy. Made me really happy that I had doggos come and visit me. Hospital dogs, like Dr. Dogs, yes. Oh, I like that emote. Exactly like that. Just sniffing me. Have you tried woofing at it? Have you tried licking your paws and not stopping? Have you tried licking your kidneys?